Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Yo, 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 yo. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Soft Sports. I gotta apologize, my fucking key light's tripping. I got like the signal, just from my work area, but for some reason it's not picking it up. And I had it all set up yesterday. It's just doing some janky shit. So I don't know why. Um, I don't think I got on the right frequency or something. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Soft Sports, man. If you're not familiar with Soft Sports is the Houston, Texas home, and that would mean we talking all sports, but only Houston, H-Town. If y'all don't know what that is, well, it's very unfortunate. We do a thing around here called the Sauce Nation Roll Call, man. They shout out your side with pride wherever you are, whatever you represent, say your hood, block, avenue, cul-de-sac, street, roundabout, circle, you know what I'm saying? Your hood, your set, your bus route, you know what I'm saying? Your military rank, whatever it is, however you identify, however you get down, man. Hey, look, Jack, it's all love in here. If you're not from the greater Houston area, though, keep that shit to yourself because I don't give a damn. I'm just fucking with you, man. That's all love. Wherever you may be, man, I got some love sitting out in your direction. Again, like I say, I apologize. I'm kind of annoyed with this shit. Let me find one of my other hats. This one get all jank. I need to give me some new hats. Anywho, lots to talk about. We're going to veer a little bit. We're going to talk Texans, but we might veer a little bit. We're going to talk Houston. Man, there's so much shit going on. Anyway, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let's just get into it, man. Like I say, it's it's a lot of craziness, man. I'm mad because, like I said, we're getting back into the regular sauce, right? Getting back into the daily stuff, opening up the sauce line, doing those things that make the sauce what it is. And I'm just mad because I actually take the time to be ahead, be on time, and then the shit just stopped working. I couldn't. Anyway, whatever. Then I have to fuss at small people. Anywho, Voodoo, one half of the greatest moderating couple in all the universe and the multiverse and the metaverse. Fuck it, all the verses, rap verses. Arturo, what's the motherfucking deal? Broderick's here. Anyway, Trinity Gardens in the building. J Boogie 10, what's the motherfucking deal? Tony Snow don't do no blow. What's the motherfucking deal? Texas toast is the best toast, right? Like there is nothing. What else do you need? Anyway. Like I said, let's get to a couple of things I want to talk about. Like I said, I want to talk Houston, and we're going to get to Houston. We're going to talk about championships. What team is closest to doing that in their respective league. And we're also going to talk about some of this other news going on, right? Because I said we're going to start opening things up. Like, there's other conversations to be had when it comes to the sports talk, the sports conversation. And so let's just get into it, right? We'll start with the NFL. We'll start with the NFL and what's going on. Like, what I think are two really big non stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, two very big non stories, in my opinion, but people are making them out to be huge, I guess, or they're making it out to be a thing, right? And it involves two of what I believe are like mid ass quarterbacks. Like, I think both these guys are mid. I'm talking about Kyler Murray and I'm talking about Baker Mayfield, right? So kind of both in different situations, but both possibly in a similar situation, which is they both may be finding new homes here soon, right? And you're like, Kyler, why? And Baker, well, we know why. Our leftovers have gone to Cleveland, and well, that means that Baker doesn't really have much option, right? But here's my deal. Let's start. Let's start with Kyler, right? I'm gonna get to Baker. Let's start with Kyler because I think his situation is just a little bit more interesting because again he's a little bit younger. I think what he's got 2-3 years in the league, and when you're a first round pick, I believe he was first overall. You're a first round pick, you get that 5th year option. The team gets that 5th year option. So this is a guy who has 2 years left on the deal. Damon Smith, Jacob Quintanilla. Hope I ain't fucking up too bad. What's the motherfucking deal? Like this is a guy who has a couple of years left on his deal and is asking for a new contract. And I could see it. I could absolutely see it if, he was that dude, right? If he was that guy. So Tom Pelissero tweets out, said the Cardinals have yet to make a contract offer, Pro Bowl, QB, Pro Bowl, what is Pro Bowl, right? QB, Kyler Murray, whose agent Eric Bernhardt informed the team weeks ago he was pulling his open proposal off the table per sources. Other teams are monitoring closely. Arizona insists Murray won't be traded. I told y'all when DW4 got his deal, when the whole situation was occurring, and this is one of the things that really like pissed me off is because I said this is going to change the game as we know it. The NFL is going to start becoming like the NBA, and again, we're familiar with a phrase around here: when you let the inmates run the asylum, well, everybody goes nuts, right? That was my own little addition to it. And that's what the fuck is happening, man. That's what's taking place, and I think that it's crazy. I think it's really crazy. Yeah, I'm kicking my legs up. Look, I'm old. I do what I want to do. I think that it's crazy to allow such a thing because it's going to get to the point where I won't say it's unwatchable, but you're just going to have these few teams who keep, kind of running it over and over. And again, in the NFL, winners win, losers lose. Teams that have been pretty much good remain good for the most part. Every now and then a little new name jumps up in there maybe for a year or two and then falls back, regresses to the mean. But situations like this are detrimental to the league, right? And I know that I think the Players Association put out a message basically telling players take advantage of it with these teams and stuff. I don't think it's going to work out the way the players expect it to. And then on that next CBA, well, that's going to be your ass, Mr. Postman, because we always know the players always fucking fold. They always fold up and then don't really get what they probably should have got it. Hey, they got the smoke. They got the weed this time, so I guess that's good enough, whatever. But they don't really get, what they're asking for. I know people are going to want these guaranteed contracts and, all this. Well, guess what? Every team's not Cleveland. And every quarterback is not possibly capable of what, oily ass was capable of, a few years back. I don't know if he still got it, right? He has to prove it on the field that he still got it. So, people say, oh, just speculation. Why you going to talk about that man like that? Because fuck him. That's why. Fuck him. Most of the time we've been doing the drip on Tuesdays with Fox, so it's been kind of edited, been watered down sauce. It's like, we giving you like the leftover sauce. Not the leftover, but watered down sauce. You ain't getting that full, authentic
in the restaurant ass flavor. And so I haven't been able to say some of the things, or haven't been saying some of the things that I want to say. Fuck him, right? The dude's a real life piece of shit, right? And you didn't, if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. And my point that I stand on that, and why are you going to D4W4 rant, is because, again, not that I want it, right? Not that I want it. I don't think anybody really cares. But it's a huge testament to character. The fact that this man got drafted by this team, regardless of what you got going on with Cal or any of the rest of that shit, at least, chunk of deuce to the city. Like, y'all know how if you know how we do in the city. Chunk of deuce to a stranger, nigga. Like, it's all love in the city. Like, unless, some other shit going on. But for the most part, you ride, whatever, man. We show love. Houston is the city that shows love, maybe too much love, right? I think we need to start dialing back on some of that love. But the fact that you couldn't just say, hey, man, you know what? It was cool while it lasted. It is what it is. That's just the bare minimum. That's the bare basics. Like, that's everyday shit. There's athletes who were barely here, a year or whatever, and in other places, and they had the decency to say, hey, man, you know what, shout out to the fan base, appreciate y'all, et cetera, et cetera. This motherfucker over there talking about, I want to play in a place where they're going to feel the stand. You stupid fuck. They felt the stands every fucking goddamn game. It's like a fucking record. The motherfucking seats were already sold. They'd been bought and sold out every fucking goddamn game. The only time they didn't do it was when you wasn't fucking playing. It was fucking Corona season. Like, fucking idiot. So, like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, and I know, again, y'all know me, I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to be friends with no fucking athletes and none of that shit. I'm not trying to be buddy. I'm not kissing nobody fucking ass. I do this for the people, man, because the fan base needs to realize it's not the athletes that has the power, not the fucking organizations. Y'all got the power. Like, my goal this year is to try to make, not to try, is to make Houston especially, because you got these whack ass cities like New York and LA and Boston and Philly. Like, they know they run they shit. They start running their mouth, shit starts happening. Out here, oh, please, Mr. McNair, can I have some more gruel? Like, we don't drop our nuts on the sports teams like we supposed to. I know some of y'all gonna say pause, but y'all know what the fuck I mean. Like I said, we act like I don't know, man. Like, it bothers the fuck out of me. Anyway, get back to what I'm talking about with Kyler Murray, right? So you're like, Honcho, well, Kyler, he's a top notch QB. He should get some. I don't think he's a top end. He's the Mighty Mouse, right? And he's a bad child. He runs around the field like a kid who can just to put a diaper on or something. Like, I don't think Kyler Murray's that good. Like, with the talent that's been around him, the way he's performed, I think he's a little overrated. Like, he has some athletic ability, you know what I mean? But I don't think he's that good, personally, right? So let's look at some numbers, right? Let's look at the numbers. Shout out Larry Jones. Over the last couple of years, right? This is Kyler, right? And the numbers, you can say, well, completion percentage has gone up year after year, almost to 70% completion. That's pretty good, right? You say, well, Honcho, you talk shit about him. You got 70% completion average. All right, well, yeah, that sounds good. But the purpose of a quarterback, right, is to put it in the end zone, right? And 24 touchdowns. That's middle of the pack, right? That's middle of the pack. That's average, right? And so my thing is, for all of that number one overall pick shit and, Pro Bowl, that's cool. There's a difference between Pro Bowl and All Pro. And all of those things, like, to feel this entitled to start making demand. And this has been happening. Like, people say, oh, well, so-and-so got a contract, so-and-so got a contract. He's been crying about this shit before a lot of these dudes got their contracts, right? And then a lot of these dudes that got those contracts deserve those contracts, right? Because either they've had the tenure, they've been putting it in for years, or they had great seasons, or whatever else it may be. Kyler hasn't done that, in my opinion, right? And so I don't know, right? Again, like I said, I don't. Was he rookie of the year? And if he was, I mean, that doesn't mean shit. Again, like, he's not in anybody's conversation. I don't believe. I don't think. Okay, let me not lie. There'll be people who have him in their top 10 for whatever reason, but I think it's few and far between, and it's just people who only know 10 quarterbacks, right? Like, those are the people who have him in their top 10. It's like, I only know 10 quarterbacks. I put Kyler Murray in at number 10. Like, that's kind of where it is. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's in a position to be making demands. I think he's childish. He runs like a child. Rumors are that he behaves like a child in the locker room. He'd be over there FaceTiming with his girlfriend in the middle of games and, doing all kind of little shit like that. Don't want to hear shit. Like, and I think if this is true and Arizona knows this, like, they don't want to haul out a bunch of money for this dude. And so I know they're saying they're not going to trade him. That's kind of what people always say when these conversations arise. But I think there may be a possibility. There may be somebody who's interested in him. I don't know if there's anybody though who wants to pay him, like a top tier quarterback, right? I don't know what the numbers are on the table. I tried to pull something up earlier. I don't know if I ever even got to it to see what they were talking about. The possibility of his the numbers being. It has nothing to do with anything. But yeah, saying that right now, this year he would make $5.5 million. He's a $5.5 million quarterback right now. Like, what is it? Like a 5.5 foot quarterback. He's like, what is it that he's doing that, that is so great, right? Says that he has no plans to ask for a trade before, the draft. But my deal is just like, man, look, and again, we've seen how certain people handle matters passive aggressively here. Never said anything, and then all the rumors, they let them all circle and float until, out the door. I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like that handles it the same way. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about it, right? That's just where I am with that. So again, average quarterback asking for a deal early, asking for a trade or whatever. Like I said, this is going to become the culture, and especially, and I know some of you young, aren't you talking about the young niggas? Y'all, it's just a different breed, right? Like it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that y'all don't have merit and all that, but I was always like you had to put in the work, you got it, you deserved it, we were happy for you. Now, who was it? I think Broderick actually said something a while. It's like the waiters at the restaurant shit. They want you to tip them before you get your food and all this other stuff. It's almost like we're in this benefit beforehand generation, like the DoorDash driver. You got to tip the DoorDasher before you even get the food. You might not even get good service, right? Like that's the mentality of these younger athletes. I'm not happy. I don't want to. And again, you're not even like like I could understand it if you were shattering records, if you were doing just amazing things, then maybe we have this conversation. But the fact that, like I said, this is a middle of the pack dude. Yeah, there's some athleticism. I don't think anybody's knocking the door down for him. And I mean, I don't think I wouldn't trade a first for Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't trade a first for Kyler Murray at all. Yeah, exactly. Cool and Ver. Like, this is what's going on, right? And so to me, it's just like, what was QB rating over the years? 93.9. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know where this come from, but like I said, I'm not gonna blame it all on Four, but he's definitely amplified it because him being the name that he was brought it to the light, and now they're using him as an example with the NFLPA. Hey, get your guaranteed money, and here's my deal. I'm not against NFL players getting guaranteed money, right? I'm not against that at all. Like, it's a dangerous game. To me, it's the most dangerous game. Injuries, shit happens. Pay the people, right? But also I understand the team looking at it like, injuries, stuff happens. It's going to be a lot of money to invest in somebody. Things don't work out. Or especially quarterbacks. Because sometimes guys can change on a season-to-season basis, right? Anyway, let me take a look at it. I want to talk about this is what I'm saying. I was supposed to make this a little bit bigger. Let me see what a player can do. Let me see what a player can do right here, man. Hold on. I can't do it. I should have put that up there. Anyway, let me see if I can make this a little larger for y'all. But basically, this is a list. Let me see if this other one works a little bit better. All right, there we go. This is a list of numbers, right? Quarterbacks putting up touchdowns, mainly touchdown leaders, right? And again, to me, if you're going to be making requests, if you're going to be making demands and feel like you're in that kind of, you at least got to be top 10, right? Like, you at least got to be top notch. You got to be in that conversation. Let's take a look at last year's passing leaders, right? 2021. Tom, Stafford, Herbert, Rodgers, Prescott, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Again, a younger guy. Cousins, Wentz. Oh, good grief. Russell, Wilson, then Kyler Murray, right? Then Kyler Murray. And you can say, well, Kyler missed, a few games and maybe that would have changed things. Possibly. But he wasn't in a position where he's putting up 2 a game. So even those 3 games could have put him anywhere from 27 to maybe 30 at the most. And then you're still, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You would be number 10, right? Again, in that list, like I said, number 10. So that's where I'm saying, like, I don't think he's in a position to be making them demands. Like, go earn your money. You need to go play another season. Prove that you're worth the big bucks. Then, start making those demands, start making it, or quit and go play baseball, which is what I thought he should have did, in the first place, right? And then this is not even me looking at, his total passing yardage overall. And, neither here nor there, but it looks like it'll be about in the same range. Now, man, my little graph other thing didn't show up. That angers me. Now, to jump to the other thing I want to talk about, and I want to hit in the chat. I guess I could have put a poll in. Do y'all think that Kyler Murray should be paid like a top-notch quarterback? Like, do you think he deserves a new contract? Like, y'all may disagree, but y'all may say, hey, Kyler's balling, he's making Arizona relevant, whatever you want to call it. But do y'all think, drop that in the chat. Let me know what y'all feel if y'all think Kyler deserves, a new contract. I don't think anybody's saying he deserves top tier QB money. Like, I think that's ridiculous. I'm going to vehemently disagree with you on that if you feel that way. But if you feel like he deserves a new contract, if you feel like 5.5 is not enough for, what he's going to be paid, even though he's still in his rookie contract, that's the whole point of it. Like I say, and what's going to happen too is because a few years back, this is like with Bradford and all that, is when they kind of start changing things. These rookies were getting paid ridiculous amounts of money, never touching the field. Bradford, what's his name? The motherfucker with the cannon. Jamarcus Russell. And he's sipping, he'd waste all his money on drink. Like, dudes were getting these huge paydays before they ever touched the field. And obviously, that's not a legitimate business decision, right? You're giving a guy 20-something years old, a deal worth $100 million. Just a couple of million, right? Is crazy, but and again, it is what it is. I feel like you got to earn it to get in that conversation because it just got to the point where every year it was getting ridiculous. It was getting worse and worse and worse. Let's see, hell no, nope, hell no. Dan Schrader, what's the motherfucking deal? It's like a college student wants to be a supervisor as soon as he gets out of college without doing the work. Exactly, like you got to lay the foundation. And I know that sports is a different game because you only got so long to play, right? Like you got, depending on who you are and what sport it is, you only got so long that you're going to play, right? Unless you're like fucking Vince Carter or somebody, fucking whatever. But you only got so long to play, so you want to maximize and capitalize. But again, you have to prove that you're worth it. And I don't feel like he's proven that at all. Let's talk about another guy, like I said, the other quarterback I want to discuss. And y'all know I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan at all. I think Baker's highly overrated. Like, highly overrated. Completion percentage, last year? 60%? That's not that great. You know what I mean? Also missed 3 games. Let's just compare him to Kyler right now, right? Also missed 3 games, had 17 TDs last year. That's not good at all, right? And I think Kyler was 12 on the ranking. I think if I go back and I look at that, like Baker's somewhere like 22. You know what I'm saying? I think like 22 out of, you're talking about 32 starting quarterbacks, no telling, injuries and all that other stuff that went on. Like, that's not good. That's not good at all. 17 fucking touchdowns for a guy who wants to be a starter. What happened is the media laughed at these fucking Baker Mayfield commercials, and he thought he was good because people thought he was funny or something. Like, I'll give him that. His commercials they'll make you giggle. They'll make you sniggle and giggle and ha-ha and hee-hee. But also his play on the field will make you do the same. He's fucking terrible, right? And I'm not saying he's ass. Baker's a backup, dog. Like, let's be honest, right? like let's be honest, Baker's a backup, bro. Like he's not a starter to me. And the reason why I even say that is Baker was surrounded by talent after his rookie year, right? And his percentage wise, his rookie year was his best year. Completion percentage, what, 63%? I gotta get my glasses on, I'm squinting. So got worse every year. Well, didn't get worse, but it was worse every year after his rookie year, right? And was given more talent every fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like he had all the stats with it. No, I'm not giving him any credit. If you hurt, get your ass off the fucking field because you're a detriment. Like that. That's almost gonna give me. That's like the Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. There's like the Russell Westbrook thing in the playoffs when he was unfortunately a Rocket. And I told y'all. People tried to argue, you don't like Russell. I've never been wrong about Russell. I've eaten crow about a lot of things, right? I've eaten plenty of crow, but I've never eaten Russell Westbrook crow, and I never will. Like if you know that injury can be a detriment, if you know you're not 100%, dog, like, and my thing is injury, not hurt, injury. You got to get off the field, especially in a game like football, right? Especially as a quarterback. One mistake, game time, right? Late pick, game time. Fumble, like game time, anything like that. It's especially as quarterback because quarterback. You know, I'm not a baseball aficionado by any means, like not even remotely close. I got MLB The Show 22, and I still ain't even played it yet, right? And we're gonna start a league on the MLB The Show, so if you fuck with it, make sure y'all add me. If you're on Xbox, Honcho Saucy, HonchoSaucy on Xbox. Add me at Honcho Saucy. I know it's crossplay, so for whatever reason, if you own a PlayStation, I don't know who does that these days, who would demean themselves like that. But if you have one, we'll figure out how that works. But we're gonna get a league going on that. Hopefully, get that booted up next week. I claim the Astros because that's the only team I really know or care about. I'm bullshitting. I'm sure we'll have some type of. I'm sure some type of draft or whatever thing going on. I got a door open. But so my deal is like, if you're hurt, dog, you gotta get off the field, especially as a quarterback, because a quarterback is of all positions in all sports. I feel like quarterback has to be the most difficult because you're making detrimental decisions and delivering dimes. I'm throwing the alliteration out there. You got to feel me. Detrimental decisions delivering dimes with just a matter of seconds to make those choices. And the best of the best, do it consistently. I think one of those choices though is also, hey, if you are not fully healthy, hey man, get right, come back and give us what you got when you're good to go. Like I can respect it, like the play through injury. I've played through a torn ligament in my knee, but you know what? It was my last game in high school. Torn ligament in my knee. Didn't even know I tore it actually. They told me I fucking what did they say? Oh, you just pulled a hamstring, you'll be all right. Played on this shit. Played the whole fucking game, like 3/4 of that bitch on this bitch. Like, and as the game went on, I progressively played worse, right? Now that's neither here nor there, but I knew that, and I even told coach I need to come out, but he was like, nah, we can't afford like you to do. You gotta, not realizing what the fuck was going on, or me either. So, and in my mind, like, yeah, I have to do this. So it is what it is. But had I had an option, I would have removed myself from that situation. And if there was a better backup option or whatever, hey, let them go in and do what it do. I'm barely running. I'm hobbling out here. So I can respect it. I can definitely respect it. But as a quarterback, I think that's a terrible deal. I wouldn't, as a defensive lineman, I wouldn't have to make those decisions. It wouldn't be as critical, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Kenneth, I've complimented you how much you've grown as a young man over the years, and the better decision making in life that you made. But every now and then, you still revert to dope fiend status and say stuff like PS5 over it. You know what? You're not wrong. PS5 over the Xbox One, right? but not over the Series X. So there you go. No PS5 slander. Oh, plenty of PS5 slander. I got all the slander for the PS5. Do we think we'll see a Tom Brady caliber QB in our lifetimes again? He won't. No, he won't be on the Texans. I don't think so. Not in our lifetimes. In my lifetime, I don't think you'll see. I don't think you'll see somebody cover their hands with rings like Tom did again in our lifetime. Just too much changing in the game, too much shit going on, and Tom Tom was a bottom bitch, right? And hear me out. Hear me what I'm saying. Like, Belichick was the pimp, right? The pimp doesn't do any work. The pimp manages the stable, right? And he gets the bread for managing the stable efficiently, right? He puts the hose out on the track, right? Now, first and foremost, y'all like, well, what the fuck is Honcho doing? I'm telling you this. You ain't getting this analogy from any other sports talk conversation in the city, probably anywhere. Anyway, the shit that be going on in my head, y'all just gotta forgive me. Anyway, Tom Brady was the bottom bitch. He took pay cuts. He did what was necessary. He, even when shit went right, they say, Belichick would get on his ass in meetings and, call him out in front of meetings and everybody. But he stayed down. Through the thick and the thin, he stayed down, right? And then eventually it just got to a point where, hey, I'm getting up there. Even old hoes got to retire eventually, right? So it's to a point where you know what I'm saying? Oh, you 50? Oh, yeah. Like I say, I just don't. And the game is changing so much, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it's, I don't know. But, and he stayed down. So that's why I think Tom will win. And reverting back to what I was just saying about a guy like Kyler, things ain't going the way you want to. You put up 17 touchdowns last year. And again, 3 more games, you might have got 20, might have got to 24. You were putting up you weren't even putting up a touchdown and a half a game. You know what I mean? And I know y'all Honcho, you're sounding very stat sexualish right now. And hey, everybody has their faults. We can't all be perfect. But the thing about it is, like I said, Kyler is wanting, threatening to leave. Right? Who is the oily ass gentleman that just left here? What did he say? I want to be like Tom Brady. I'm gonna get all the ring. What? As soon as shit didn't go his way, he want to catch up, right? Like wants to catch up. That's why there will not be another Tom Brady, because these QBs, especially this young crop, like I said, it's this whole new generation, it's got to always be wins, always got to be positive highlights. They can't stay down through the bad times. They're not going to stay down through the rebuilds. They're not going to stay down through, those losing seasons. And so I don't think so. And then again, how many Belichick masterminds are you going to get? How many times are you going to get an offensive mastermind and an excellent player? If anybody's going to do it, and I still don't think he's going to do it, it would probably be Mahomes, because he's jumped out early in his career and gotten one and has plenty of time to try to get a few more. But as far as Brady, I mean, even just a handful, like even just I don't think it's gonna happen. I think by the time his career is over with, Patrick probably has 3 to 4. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's in. I don't think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see anything like Tom, anytime soon. Like, so that's just my views on that. Oh man, hey Jack, I need to get on that train. I wasn't even thinking about that. I seen it. If Elon bought the Texans, I guarantee you would see a swift turnaround. And a guy like Elon would be ideal because I'm rolling with what the Texans are doing right now, right? Because one, I don't have any other option. I'm not going to jump ship. 2, I don't hate it. And I'm saying all this to preface what I'm going to say about Elon. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I'm going to approach it reasonably, right? I'm going to give Nick Casario an opportunity to do what he needs to do. He came in with no first round pick in his first year. Now he's making up for it with two, this year. What does he do with them? It matters. I know people love to say, "Oh, you hit on all five picks." No, he didn't. No, he didn't. They were decent picks across the board. If I would call any of them a hit, I would say Roy was a hit. Nico didn't produce enough. I like Nico Collins, but he didn't produce enough. I like Jordan. Hasn't produced enough to call it a hit, right? Like, it's not like he came out the woodworks, some undrafted free agent just balled out of control. Like, I'm okay with the picks, right? And all those things. I'm actually really rocking with the Lovey hire. I need to know how much Lovey's into it, and I think we'll see as the season comes along. I'm liking what he's doing. He's up there every day early, all that. But you get a guy like Elon comes in, and he's going to change this entire culture, right? And I would just hope that the city would buy in, because I think he would be the type of owner that would perform the way some of us would like it, right? Like, results oriented. If it's not getting results, it's got to go. If you're not going to be hanging on to guys for unnecessary reasons, and we're going to be trying to win now. I just don't know how big of a sports guy Elon is, right? Because, as a fellow African American, Elon wasn't born here, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'd probably be interested. I need to read his book. I usually like reading books of rich people and hearing their stories. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting to see their mindsets. But he wasn't born here, so I wouldn't think he would be, hardcore into American football. But also, do you think that the owners would let a guy like Elon in? I think it would be ideal for the league as a whole, because I think it would be great talking. I mean, it would be great marketing. I think people would talk about that shit nonstop, right? A billion times more interesting than fucking Cal McNair. Like, he's more interesting than like the whole McNair family combined. R.I.P. Bob. I'd love it, because he's gonna talk that shit. He's gonna say he would be like, in my idea, he would be like the Mark Cuban of the Houston Texans. You know what I'm saying? And I fucking hate the Mavericks, but I like Mark Cuban, the businessman. I hate the fucking Dallas Mavericks, right? Yeah, that's what I would think. I would think that he would be. I would think that he would be. Yeah, maybe more in soccer, something else like that. We say Elon makes helmets that prevent cuts in Houston. Oh, really? Okay. What, MLK Cal? Hey, yeah, y'all gonna put some respect on my nigga Cal name, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been calling my nigga Cal racist. Y'all been calling the McNair family racist. Y'all been saying the Texans are racist. And y'all ain't brought no proof yet. Y'all ain't brought no facts. Y'all brought this vague comment that an old man said some years ago, talking about inmates running the asylum. He ain't said, we don't let the black inmates run the asylum. We don't let the Aryan Brotherhood run the asylum. He ain't say none of that. He said you can't let the inmates run the asylum. And what y'all did, y'all are the real racists, because what y'all did, those of you who got all huffy puffy about it, is y'all immediately correlated black with inmates. Because subconsciously you're a goddamn racist. So shame on you. Spitz, what's the motherfucking deal? But if Elon was to buy the Texans, I think it would be the shock that the city needs. And I think that the stadium would probably be the livest experience. Like, I think that would probably be the livest experience, right? Fucking a Tesla team bus that nobody drives. That would be dangerous, right? But getting back to they should have never gave you niggas YouTube. But getting back to it, right? So like I said, I feel like Baker's really overrated. I don't think there's a lot of hype for Baker. Let's just be honest, right? Like, I know people saying, well, you keep him around just in case number 4 has to, suffer some level of punishment, and, it is what it is. I still don't think that's the case. Like, I think if there were firsts being offered for Baker, like, especially, first this year, hey, here's the quarterback we need, it's gonna, like, I think the Browns would jump on that. And then you have four, and then you have, first round talent to add to everything else you already got. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy who couldn't connect with OBJ, right? And I'm not an OBJ fan, but it was a point in time where OBJ was one of the better receivers in the league. I'll never say he was the best. Like, we already know Hop did it first. Like, so I'll never say OBJ was the best. Y'all know, like, shit in New York gets just hyped up because it's from New York. Like, think about like all the one hit wonders from New York. Remember they said, what was that little goofy rapper, the dude who sounded like he was in special ed classes, the fake future, making all the noises. What was his name? Designer, right? Dude made one song. He was from New York. They said, oh, he's the next company. They blew it all up. Like, New York stuff gets blown out of proportion. So when it's actually kind of good, and then it's in New York, it gets blown out the fucking stratosphere and into a ridiculous proportion. Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Jay-Z's super overrated in my book. He's a decent rapper, but because he's from New York, they blow it up, right? That's just kind of the situation. But like I said, so I don't know where I went off this tangent. Oh, we're talking about Odell and Baker not having that connection. Like I said, it's just something about him. Like I said, I feel like he's overhyped. Like I said, he's very entertaining. And I'm not gonna get into the college shit and all that other stuff. Again, it's just I don't think he's that. But I think if there was really a demand for Baker, I think people would be putting offers on the table because good quarterbacks are hard to come by. So if he is as good as some people think he is, I think a first would be thrown on the table. Now there may be lesser offers. Maybe the Browns overvalue him. I'm pretty sure maybe somebody would throw a third out there or something like that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I think the Browns said they are going to, offer trade. He talked about feeling disrespected and all that, and I don't give a fuck if Baker Mayfield feels disrespected. Like I don't give a shit, right? Because this is the same guy that planted the flag. Who was the? I forgot whose field it was on, but that's a very disrespectful shit. I don't give a fuck if Baker Mayfield feels disrespected. Should have felt disrespected when he was running and got his ass caught. But anyway, again, so we'll see what happens with that. I just think that Baker's a non-story, but if people want to talk about it, people like Baker for whatever reason. I don't think he's good. And I think Kyler is he's very childish. And his agent agent's job is to get money because guess what? Kyler gets paid, agent gets paid, it's 10%, whatever. So his job is to get him more money. But I don't think Kyler's really in a position to be making any fucking demands, right? Like, again, and especially if the locker room shit is true, I think people know that people aren't going to want to entertain. Like that's kind of the same thing that they were saying about Baker Mayfield too. It was that he was childish and some shit like that. Like, I could almost believe it. But like I said, I want to pull this up real quick. Baker, 14 games. Let's look at who else all played 14 games. Baker played 14 games, gave you 17 touchdowns, right? You had Teddy Bridgewater. You had Jared Goff, 14 games. Kyler Murray played 14 games and gave you 7 more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's been in the league, a year longer than Kyler Murray. Russell Wilson, 14 games, gave you 25. I believe that's all the 14s. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, you know what I mean? You got Lamar, who I don't think is a great passer of the ball. Like, I don't think he's that good of a passer of the ball at all. And he played 2 less games, only 1 touchdown off of you. Tua Tagovailoa, whatever his name is, and with all of the drama surrounding him and everything going on that was surrounding him, the possible trades and all this, and we know quarterbacks are soft and emotional, and they have fragile egos. All that stuff going on with Tua. Tua's right there with you, right? So, like I said, I just don't think Baker's it. I really don't think. I don't think he's it at all, right? So now I've talked about everything but whatever we were supposed to talk about tonight, which is who is, what is it going to take for Houston to bring home another championship? Who's the closest? Who is in the running? And across the board, what are teams going to need to reach that level of success? Fuck Bill Simmons. Rockets, and I've said this, even prior to last year. I think they're two. I was saying 2 years before they're back in the playoff conversation. Maybe a little bit longer, and we were talking about childish players. We're talking about personality issues and things like that. I know a lot of people are big fans of KPJ, and they're talking extension and all that. And I brought that up a couple of days ago on the drip. I don't think you do that. I think you treat KPJ the same way I said you should have treated Kyler Murray, or you need to treat Kyler Murray. You give me another year, and you prove it to me, right? KPJ's talking all this. I want to be in Houston. I love Houston. All that. Yeah, that sounds really good right now because his team gave you a chance. They let you throw a couple of hissy fits. They didn't really punish you for it, but it's just too much shit with that dude. It is actually on the court. I was gonna say off the court, but it's not even off the court shit. It's really on the court shit that leads to him getting off the court. Trying to holler at Johnny Dang in the middle of the game. Like, where's your head at, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is your mind? What are you thinking? You're in the middle of a game. You trying to get a grill made? Like, that's what you're trying to do? Like, that's where your mind is? Like, you got a million ways to contact this nigga. Like, on an off day, go to the shop. Like, go do that. Like, it's not hard. You don't need a personal fucking number. Like I said, just hissy fits and attitudes and all that shit. Like, look, bro, you're not playing, in my opinion, that well to behave that way. And then with that young core that you got, which I think is amazing, I still, I'm sticking to it. When it first happened, I said Alperen Sengun was the fucking most pro ready of all those players. You want to talk about hitting in a draft? You want to talk about hitting on all picks? That draft for the Rockets, Garuba, yet to be seen. Injuries, I know some things like that. But if that, when you're talking about hitting on all picks, that would be a hit on all picks. Christopher Sengun and Green. Even though the thing I hate the most is that Christopher and Sengun, Christopher and Green got my nigga Sengun dressing like a weirdo, right? And I don't think he understands because he's just converting to the English language. So I don't think he understands that them niggas got him dressing like a weirdo. So it is what it is. Um, is Kyrie really crazy? Is Kyrie really crazy? They say if you give Jake, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather, honestly, I'm not tripping on Christian Wood. I'm not tripping on KPJ. Like, I'd rather you focus more on that young core that you got, and hopefully you can keep these guys together. You know what I'm saying? They develop and build that chemistry. You're talking about those guys came in at 19, dog. At 19, they all, I think turned 20 during the season. Like, these niggas can't even legally drink. Like, get them before they start turning into alcoholics and start tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, work with them. I think that's what you focus on. I think you're in a situation to get another top 5 pick. It's a good position to be in, right? So hopefully, if things fall the Rockets' way, it could be another very good situation. You add another very talented player. You can't be wasting, minutes on Wood. You can't be wasting. Like, I think he is what he is, and I'm not saying he's not good, but go get something for him. KPJ, like I said, I don't dislike him, but you can't work with the hissy fits. Like, and then you can't cater to those hissy fits. You know what I'm saying? And then not expect other players to react in a certain kind of way. Either they start behaving that way, and then what you just gonna give him special treatment, or they see that and might not be too keen on it. Again, I'm saying this from an old nigga perspective. Y'all young niggas be also, well, whatever it takes. We just want to team up and win. Whatever we got to do to win is friends, and that's how we're gonna do it. But so again, that's kind of the only Baker that matters in Houston is Dusty Baker. He's a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? Oh, terrible. But like I said, it's the Rockets got a ways to go. They got a ways to go before they're even in the playoff conversation again. So I think might be another 2 years, right? But hey, it is what it is. Then Texans. Texans are weird because football is such a funny sport, right? And I'm Team Mills for now. Like let's this money Mills minus Mills, but Mills has to prove a lot this season. Like he has to prove like Mills has to make a big leap. Mills is in a I wouldn't call it a savage situation, but kind of. He's just gonna have a longer window. He's got one season to prove, right? And it's kind of cool. He got some game time last year, so he got understanding of what's going on and the speed of the game and what he needs to work on. You got one season because you got a couple of names coming up. In next year's draft, a lot of people are interested in, and any one of those guys right now is probably more talented than Davis Mills, right? I think that's just kind of where you're at. And the Texans will have two picks, next year. And don't be surprised they, get willy nilly, make some magic happen, maybe see a guy that they like. I believe Spitz brought it up. That Lovey and them were talking to some guys at their pro days who weren't even, there's not, I mean, it wasn't even their pro days, it was their teammates' pro days. They're not up till next year. It is what it is. Sauce is overall showing racial bias in QBs. You might be right. I am a part-time racist. Everybody gets it equally. Is it just me, or does Desmond Ritter look kind of like Trey Young? I don't know why. I just thought that the other day. Anywho, so Katie Tigers, who's made the NBA playoffs, terrible. Like I said, so the Texans, with the assets that they have, the turnaround could be faster than anticipated. But again, it's going to be kind of on Casario, right? He's got the big payday, he's got the leeway, and just getting all the right pieces together can be difficult. And I've said it, I don't believe that there's, like last year you said, it's not about the process, not necessarily about the wins. I think they're still on that. I think they're still on that mentality. Like, I don't think, last year they didn't give a fuck about winning shit because they knew they weren't. I don't think they are on that train necessarily this year, too. And that's why you keep seeing these 1 to 2 year contracts, right? If there's a guy you want and you want to keep him around, kind of you would think that maybe give a longer contract. I think this is just excuse me.
What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
Um, that I think right now we're just kind of biding our time. No, not like the guy in the White House, but biding our time until it gets to a situation where I think they're comfortable really start making those deals. I know there's a lot of cap next year, so hopefully next year is when they start, making those moves, those long-term commitments, and saying, okay, these are the guys we got on our team, these are the guys we want, and actually getting talent. Like I said, it's hard right now because when your most talented or your biggest name is a fucking offensive lineman, you're not in a good spot, right? You're not in a good spot at all. So that's kind of just that. And like I said, we're talking across the board in the big leagues. It's not probably, I'm pretty damn sure the closest team in the city is the Astros. I don't think nobody's surprised by that. Because somehow, some way, the Astros lose fucking big names. The last couple of years, it seemed like every offseason they've lost like a huge name or a huge contributor to the team's success. And they're still in fucking contention. Like, the Astros are basically fucking Bebe's kids, right? Because they don't die, they multiply. Like, they get rid of motherfucking, like, some dude comes up out of the farm system and is just as good, if not better, as the last motherfucker they just got rid of. Like, and I don't fucking, I don't know how they do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the logistics of the baseball, but it's cool. The fans are happy. The fans are loving it, and I think, it's a cool deal. I keep saying I want to do the Astros thing. I just don't want to. I'm just gonna start watching. Fuck what y'all think. I don't care if y'all. I don't care if y'all think I'm a bandwagon or not. I'm gonna start fucking with the Astros more regularly. Then you got the Dynamo and Dash, and you got to ask Hector about that. I know the Dash. They won the deal last year, so that's technically, I believe, your most recent championship. But see, y'all don't give football the proper respect it deserves. Y'all be in this American football, this pigskin, and not giving football, soccer, the respect it deserves, especially ladies soccer. So you better start watching it because they represent the city like nobody else. The soccer teams in Houston, aside from like U of H, aside from U of H, the soccer teams in Houston probably rep the hardest. U of H though, their situation, I think, but moving to Big 12 now, like I have to see what happens with that, but I think they'll be all right. Like, I don't think there's going to be too many issues with U of H. U of H has been decent in football, basketball, excellent. You know, Samson has been just having that program on fucking point. So with that, it's hard to say them because again, like it's so hard to win the tournament, right? It's so hard to win the tournament. But if we're talking about maybe like overall closeness, then you might have it's like Astros, U of H basketball, um, probably U of H football, then Rockets, then Texans right now. And I know you'll say, "Oh, you just hating on the Texans," but the Texans are devoid of fucking talent. Like again, every one of those other programs, every one of those other teams, you got names you can name, right? You can point and say, hey, these motherfuckers are very talented. Like we can skew the stats for Mills, and like I said, I'm rooting for him. I want to see him be successful and all that. But again, like I told y'all, the four letter network and all those caveats and all those things that they come up with, let's just go off the stats that matter. Completion percentage, I'll give you that. I think there's nuance in that also, but just give me the basics. Give me yards, give me touchdowns, give me interceptions, right? And I'll take, like I said, I'll take your completion percentage, whatever. Give me the basics. Don't give me these geeky ass fucking analytics that don't mean shit. Like I said, I told y'all yesterday, it's just a way for motherfuckers who never got on the field, motherfuckers who never even tried out for the team, motherfuckers who ain't even want to be, like I said, athletic assistants, but they want to feel like they're part of the conversation. So they start making analytics. Well, let me give you this. If the grass is 3 inches high, well, he can run a 4.2 in a 40. It's really amazing. Like all that other extra shit. Like I don't give a fuck about 40 times. I don't give a fuck about bench presses. I don't give a fuck about none of that combine shit. It really means nothing. I don't give a shit about the underwear Olympics. But here's the deal, man. It is about that time to wind it down. I know I didn't open up the sauce line. I ran my mouth off fucking stream. Hey, it happens sometimes. We'll be rocking. I have a sauce line open tomorrow. I'll make sure I get my points out the way early and not spend a bunch of time talking about my lack of respect for Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. We'll be in the den at 9 p.m. tonight. So if you're rocking with the den, thedenshow.com will take you right there. Look, some of y'all are familiar with the den. Some of y'all are not familiar with the den. The den is not for everybody, right? The den is controversial on occasion. So it's not for everybody, right? And I'm just telling y'all straight up. But if you like having those conversations, I implore you to come join us in the den. The den is always a good time. It's not for the faint of heart because the den chat is much more toxic than the sauce chat. You get attacked at any given time. But with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It is my honor, it is my privilege, it is my pleasure to, like I said, just to get back rocking, to get back more consistent, dropping, videos and just I'm gonna start bringing out a short content because I know a lot of people are like, well, why don't you drop some short videos, record it. I promise I'm gonna do it. I've been running around a lot this week, but like I said, I'm gonna get back on the daily sauce at least. Sauce at 7. Tune in. If you don't get the notification, just pull up. Sauce at 7 during the week. We're not rocking on Saturdays. I probably won't do sauce on Sundays. Then I do. But sauce will probably be Monday through Friday. No, not on the weekends until one of the leagues gets started up, or we get a baseball conversation going or something like that. We'll see what happens. Or we'll maybe do something special on the weekends. But I don't know. But y'all already know Tuesdays the drip. Make sure you're there. Shout out to Spitz. If you're not following Spitz, I spit on you. Patooey. Make sure you follow the Spitz, man. Like if you're not, the only other channel I'm watching besides the Sauce when it comes to Texas Talk is Spitz. And this is not a jab at anybody else. One, I don't watch a lot of YouTube for a motherfucker that be on YouTube. I honestly don't. But two, nah, yeah, like if you're not watching Spitz, I don't know what's good with you. Like I don't know what kind of shit you on. Aside from that, man, Sauce Nation, I fucks with y'all. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias. Man, make sure you're following. If you got a Twitter account, make sure you're following on Twitter. Make sure you fuck with it, like it, share it, subscribe it. Tell a friend about the Sauce. All that good stuff. Oh, and I'm gonna have information coming up soon because we have been working on a thing. If y'all want to rock with the Sauce live in person, we are doing a draft party. I'm gonna get all that filled out. I'll make a little flyer and all that this weekend probably, so that way y'all can have the pertinent information. If y'all want to pull up on your boy Honcho, Spitz, Wise, a few other faces may be there. Hey man, come pull up, come fuck with your boy. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a good old time. You know what I'm saying? You come see that we are just as authentic in person as we are on the stream, man. Some people be faking the funk. Some people are weird. That's why I don't fuck with everybody. But anyway, that being said. Hit y'all with the Arian Foster. Chugging up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But most of all, y'all stay saucy. It's your boy at Honcho. And